Everyone down in Whoville like Christmas arrived. But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
It could be perhaps that her hair wasn't screwed on just right.
It could be perhaps that her shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been is that her heart was two sizes too small.
But whatever the reason, her heart or her shoes, she stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's.
Staring down from her cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town.
For she knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath.
She snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then she growled with her Grinch fingers nervously drumming.
I must find some way to stop this Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow she knew
All the girls and boys would wake bright and early.
They'd rush for their toys, and then
all the noise.
That's one thing she hated.
The noise.
Noise.
Then the Who's done get old and sit down to a feast. They feast.
And they feast.
And they feast.
feast.
They would feast on Who pudding.
And rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least.
They'd do something she liked least of all.
Every Who down in Whoville
The tall and the small.
was stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. And they'd stand hand in hand.
And the Who's would start singing.
They'd sing.
And they'd sing.
And they'd sing.
Welcome Christmas, come this way. Welcome Christmas, Christmas Day.
More the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas scene. More the Grinch thought.
I must stop this whole thing. Why for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how?
Grinch simply said,
I know just what to do.
Then she got an idea.
an awful idea.
The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
The Great Grinch a trick with this coat and this hat. I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around.
But since reindeer are scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop that old Grinch?
No.
Oh, Matt.
She took some red thread and she tied a big horn on the top of her head.
Loaded some bags
And some old empty sacks.
on a ramshackle sleigh.
And she hitched up old Max. The Grinch said,
And the sleigh started down to the town.
When the Who's lay a snooze. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air.
All the Who's were dreaming sweet dreams without care. Came to the first little house on the square.
This is stop number 1.
Old Grinch Claus hissed.
And the Grinch slid down the chimney, empty bags in her fist.
Then the Grinch slid down the chimney.
A rather tight pitch.
But if Santa could do it, so could the Grinch.
She got stuck only once from murder too.
Then she stuck her head out of the fireplace glue.
Then she slid there and snuck with a smile most unpleasant.
Around the whole room, and she took every present.
Puppets,
And bicycles. Roller skates.
drums,
Checkerboards.
tricycles,
Popcorn.
And plums.
Stuffed them in the bag.
Then the Grinch, very nimble,
Stuffed all the bags.
One by one up the chimney.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mrs. Grinch. You're a bad man with a greasy black peel.
She clinked out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why that Grinch even took the last kind of food hash.
She stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
And now,
The Grinch. I will stuff up the tree.
and the Grinch grabbed the tree and she started to shove.
When she heard a small sound like the coo of a dove.
She turned around fast and saw a small little pig.
Cindy Lou Who is not more than 2. This Grinch has been caught by this tiny Who daughter who got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
She stared at the Grinch and said,
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? Why?
the fake Santa Claus lied.
But you know the old Grinch was so smart and so slick.
She thought up a light and she said it quick.
Why, my sweet little tot? There's a light on this tree that won't light on my side. So I'm taking you to my home, to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there. Then I'll take it here. Her fib fooled the child.
Then she patted her head and got her a drink and sent her to bed.
And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup,
She went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed salt. Your soul is full of gum, Mrs. Grinch. The three words that best describe you are around the way I quote. Stink, stank, stunk.
The last thing she took was the log or the fire.
then she went up the chimney himself, then a while. On her wall, she left nothing but some hooks and some wire.
She did the same thing to the other whose houses.
Leaving crumbs much too small for the other whose mouths.
It was a quarter past dawn.
All the Who's still a bed, all the Who's still a snooze. When she packed up her sled,
Packed it up with all their presents. The ribbons.
the wrappings,
The tags.
and the tinsel, means
The trappings.
Up the side of Mount Crumpet.
rode with her loads to the tip top to dump.
just I know just what they'll do. They'll hang their mouths open a minute or two. Then all the Who's down in Whoville will cry boo-hoo. That's a noise.
Ran the Grinch.
That is simply must hear.
So she paused.
And the Grinch put her hand to her ear. And she did hear a sound rising over the snow.
It started in low.
Then it started to grow. Why did sounded merry? It couldn't be so.
But it was merry.
Very!
She started in a Whoville.
The Grinch popped her eyes.
Then she shook.
What she saw was a shocking surprise.
Every down in Whoville, the tall and the small was singing. With no presents at all.
She hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came.
Somehow or another, it just came just the same.
And the Grinch with her Grinch feet ice cold in the snow.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas means a little bit more.
What happened then?
Well, in Whoville, they say.
They said in her heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And in the middle of her heart didn't feel so quiet. She whizzed with her load and through the bright morning light.
And she brought back the toys.
And the food for the feast.
She herself.
The Grinch!
Carved the roast beef.
The end! Forest, Doris, welcome Christmas, come this way. Forest, Doris, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. Welcome, welcome, Fahu Ramas, welcome, welcome, Dahu Damas. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to clasp. Fahu Forest, Dahu Doris, welcome Christmas, come this way. Fahu Forest, Dahu Doris, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus, you're as charming as an eel, Mrs. Grinch.